This is from John Pavlovitz. I've seen this movie before. It doesn't end well. As a Christian for most of my life and as a pastor for nearly 3 decades, I'm quite familiar with the story. Supposedly faithful people fashioning an idol made of gold and cravingly bowing before it, in complete contempt for the God they claim to believe in because they have lost their collective minds. This 2021 reboot is a little on the nose. It's also far more tragic. We've had several thousand years to get it right, and we shouldn't be there. Watching the collective soul selling of my fellow Christians here in America over the past 5 years has been something that has grieved me more than I can measure or accurately describe. It's been particularly disheartening to watch ancient religious history repeating itself, and worse, to realize that nearly every disfiguring ugliness here in America, from the violent parade of white nationalism to the defiant anti-mask pandemic deniers, to the propagators of an abject election fraud lie, to the suppressors of the voices and votes of people of color, is coming from professed Christians. As someone who's still aspiring to a life of faith and is trying to speak into this religious tradition, it's sobering to admit that we are not here as a nation in this brutal battle for desperate humanity, and we're not steeped in this unapologetic supremacy, if not for people claiming to be devoted to the same Jesus I have grown up trying to eliminate. As both literally and figuratively plagued their underlying adoration to some golden veneer bastardized counterfeit idol of their whiteness, I'm left to wonder, what am I to do now? Do I attempt to redeem this thing that I found such meaning and beauty in it? Or do I resign myself to the fact that these myopanic Caucasian cultists have commandeered it for good, and it is beyond repair in the eyes of those outside of it? Do I detect this? Do I deflect from this polluted homeland and begin down a new spiritual journey, while knowing it will nearly be impossible to differentiate myself from the shimmering but hollow calf worshippers, because they have permanently co-opted the trappings of my tradition? And how do I show the world an alternative spiritually that is supposed to leave more compassion, more diversity, and more justice in its wake, while these delusional, power-lusting hypocrites eat up market shares because otherwise decent, loving human beings are walking away from organized religion for good because they are fully exhausted? The questions far outnumber any helpful answers, and the prayers seem to slip into the ether without reply. Having read and studied and preached the story doesn't make it watching it repeat itself any easier. I know that religious people end up abandoning God and mindlessly worshiping a golden calf. So it shouldn't be surprising that so many today are now bowing down to this orange jackass. It's just more terrifying seeing it with this proximity. It was a lot easier to view the story in the distant rearview mirror of ancient history, in a land thousands of miles away, and not in the windshield of the present of the country I call home, with the sycophantic cultists so close and prevalent. While they whirl around the gleaming, empty shell devoted to themselves and their imagined righteousness, shouting, "God bless America," I'll be sitting here, with a mournful truth that makes me sick to my stomach. God broke America, or at the least, the God followers have, and I'm not sure how we can fix it. One thing I know for certain, I will not join them in their mindless fevered dancing. I will not bow to this empty, shimmering monstrosity. I will write a different story. To expand on what John said, my story is going to be the truth. History is being written right now, and history is not going to be kind to those who bow down to the golden calf of the Trump supporter, of the Trump's golden statue. They will not be kind to them. We must make sure that history does not forget who and what they were. Those who turned their back on God for the sake of Donald Trump. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.